Princess Serena, not Princess Serena, and today I'm going to show you my pins that move. To address the elephant in the room, or like my whole entire pin wall in this room, literally, I completely revamped my pin display here a little before my trip to Arizona. I haven't filmed in a while, so this is actually really trippy to see it this way, even though I'm used to it in my room by now, of course. Like, I'm not used to seeing it like while I'm filming. It's so vibrant because of like the piercing black background. I love it. That's what I was going for. But today I'm going to show you my pins that move, or interactive pins, if you will. It was one of my first pin videos I've ever done on this channel, like 4 years ago. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so I divided it by different types of moving pins. For all intents and purposes of this video, I did not include dangle pins. Even though you could move them, it doesn't like technically change the way it's displayed. You know what I mean? Like this way, like you could actually have a choice between how you want to display it. Okay, so I'm gonna start with hinge pins. This is one of my OG hinge pins. This would have been in my original moving pins video. It is still one of my favorite Pixar pins I own. It is the coolest collection I think Disney has ever come out with, like in terms of their monthly collections. It's the I Collect Pins collection. So this is I Collect Pixar Pins. So it's a pin book, and then when you open it, it's like actual images of real pins that exist out there, and it represents like a lot of different Pixar movies. You got Inside Out even sneaking in there with like the 5 emotions, those balls, almost like core memories, right? And it even has like a little string here as if it really is a pin book. The WALL-E one, so it's very simplistic and gray and just one color, WALL-E. But then when you open it, I mean, I guess it is kind of fitting because it is a really sad scene, but it is really sweet. Depends how you look at it. But it is WALL-E, and Eve is asleep because she found the plant, right? So she shut off. That's like her directive. And then WALL-E's still trying to take care of her, and like it was raining, so he like holds the umbrella over her, and it's just so sweet. And then he gets electrocuted. LOL. So moving on to a more recent find, I think this is my newest moving pin that I added in my collection. It is the Disney Channel night from last year. This year just happened actually, 90s night, but last year was Disney Channel night. So jealous, forever jealous that I didn't get to go, but I'm honestly so happy that this like actually happened. Maybe they'll repeat it one day and I'll get to go, who knows? But yeah, so at first it just says Disneyland After Dark, but I actually display it open. Most of these I display closed, but the WALL-E one I display open, and this one as well. And it actually says the Disney Channel night here, so that's the whole reason why I wanted, of course, for my Disney Channel collection. And it says the year, and even though I didn't go and it has no significance to me, I really wanted it and I was able to trade for it. Then my other Disney Channel hinge pin is Gravity Falls. I display this one closed, and it's the third journal. It's actually an official pin. All of them so far have not been fantasy, but I preface it for this one because like 99% of my Gravity Falls pins are all fantasy. I believe this is my only official pin. Yeah. I don't even know why I have to look, because the only official pins out there are of this mystery set, or other soft enamel pins, but they were all soft enamel. But this one is only really soft enamel inside, and again, I got to trade for it, so why not? There's quite a few High School Musical pins on here because of all of the DSSH High School Musical 3 pins. So this one opens up, it says cast member exclusive, and actually says cast member like on the actual pin, not just the back. EHS, so East High School. And then you open it up, and then you have a screen printed photo of Troy and Gabriella at prom. Yeah, at prom. And I love the background of it too. Even though it is screen printed, I really like this one because first of all, it's enamel on the front, and like it's the whole element of it being a hinge pin, and then it's an enamel kind of serves as a circular border around it. So I'll forgive the screen printing on it. I don't love a predominantly screen printed pin. Similar to this is the yearbook. So at least it's not a rinse and repeat because I display these closed. But this one, so it's the EHS yearbook, and then you open it, and it's so cool because I love when they utilize like the other side of the hinge pin too. Best of luck, Gabriella, Troy. So it's like Troy signs the yearbook and said best of luck. And that's them in their grad outfits. So even though they're pretty similar when they are shut, I'm really happy they both exist because one's for prom and one is for graduation. And my last hinge pin is a Hanukkah pin. This is actually my favorite Hanukkah pin that exists. It is the 2012 pin. It was one of the last ones I was able to track down actually. I finally got all of the years. I don't get all of them, I just get one for each year. Because until like 2007, 8-ish, they actually made more than 1 year, but now they just do one. So when you open it, you have Mickey in there holding a present. I love it. I barely see this one open. So yeah, it's a treat. There you go. It's a present. Hanukkah present. But yeah, it is so cute. And this one's unique because it's not like it's the whole pin that's being covered and then you open it and you reveal the whole pin, like the ears are visible whether you open it or close it. I also really like how it's a stained glass element too on a hinge pin. It's really rare that a Disney official pin has a cool different type of element, let alone two, so that's awesome. Next, I'm gonna do slider pins. So just coming off the Hanukkah pin, 2001, this one slides the menorah back and forth, and it looks like he's kind of in a cozy lodge. I feel like they did better and were more creative with the designs earlier rather than now, but there are some gems that come out now, but yeah. And this one's specifically from Disney's California Adventure, which didn't it open, pardon my lack of knowledge of the parks, but didn't it open in 2001? That'd be cool. Like, it's the first holiday season, I'm pretty sure. It's a different type of slider pin, but this totally is a slider pin, just like this one. Like, the whole pin is a slider rather than just like an element. So it is Troy on a cell phone, and I think it is so cute. First of all, it has a little dangle charm. You see like the actual numbers. It's a flip phone. I love it. Boop, 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 boop. Hello? Disney Channel? Hi, can you get the cast, the whole cast, including the guy on this pin, please, to sign off on a reunion special? Not a movie, because I think that would be cringy, but just like, I don't know, a half an hour to an hour special of their adult lives. No children involved. They're the main characters. Okay, thank you so much. And then here is my Wally slider one. I actually didn't know it was a slider till I got it in the mail. I traded this with a fellow Canadian pin trader, a Pixar collector as well, Victoria. I love it. And you have the Axiom at the top there. That is a rare sighting in Wally and Eve pins. Usually it's just of Wally or Eve or both. So it's nice when there's more Wally lore represented in a pin. I forgot to pull these off because I displayed them open. I almost forgot that you can shut them, but yeah, they both have the boot with the plant and you can open or close them. And then I wasn't sure what to classify this as. It's not really a slider, but I'm going to have this bridge to the next section of pins, but it sort of is, it's sliding around, and it is a fantasy pin I got on Etsy by Millie Pins. I actually just opened, it's really funny, a Millie's pin on my last video, my last pin mail video when I was in Arizona. I got the grease pin, but she also makes these Disney Channel TV pins. She also has a green and purple variant, but I love this color a lot more. And I think this was the only one that was available back when I got it like 3 years ago-ish, but it's just awesome. It's like, hi, I'm Princess Serena and you're watching Disney Channel. Honestly, the way I did the Disney Channel like logo, I probably did it better than half the stars, because did you see those leaked like unedited versions a few years ago of them, like of them doing it?
That was a 3-eared mouse. Did anyone see that?
So the next 3 pins I don't really have a category for. This technically is a dangle, and I'm not including all the other ones, but it's like an enamel dangle. It's not like kind of like a little chain. And also, like if you lay it flat, like you can, yeah, there you go. It's staying, like you have it this way, or you could have it more like that, depending the spacing you have on the board you're putting it on, right? And again, it's screen printed, but there's enamel all around, including the hat and the moving element itself. Yeah, I love it. Kim Possible. This one's awesome. So it's kind of like undercover and like what's the stitch kind of vibes. And then like you open it and you expose her, expose her cover. You see her. I can't even call it new anymore. It's from 2019. I believe this was the first Disney Channel pin that Disney came out with, like official pin, since 2013, like 2019. They had like a big gap of them not coming out, and then they started a Disney Channel pin renaissance. Just came up with that now, but I'm forever calling it that. Anyway, so then we have Bill, and I showed this one semi-recently too. I got this year, and he moves, he tips his hat. It's very cute. I love it.
This technically doubles as a spinner too because the bow tie spins.
And this is a fantasy pin, of course, because Disney does not capitalize on the Gravity Falls fandom, even though it is so popular, more popular now than ever, honestly. It is Roly Poly Oly. I recently broke his arm off, unfortunately. I know, do not call the authorities. But it was an accident, I want to preface. I always like, basically how he moves is like, it's like a wire, and I want to be careful because I don't want any other limb to fall off. But depending on how I display my board, I've always like contorted. Even his little antenna moves too. So, well, now there's only 4. I kept his arm. I did not throw it away. If I could find this pin again, I absolutely will trade or buy it. But for now, I will keep him. I will love him for who he is. But I think, yeah, it's interesting because you have more flexibility, if you will, like he's so flexible in this pin, how you place this pin and how it looks good on a board. Now I'm gonna go to the spinning pins. So this is a classic of the castle, my 2020 pin, because I went to Disney World in 2020. There we go. It spins like really fast. But yeah, it's just classic Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy. No Pluto in sight for some reason. I didn't know there was a hierarchy between the Fab Five. I know like with the Sensational Six, it's Daisy or not, but like I didn't know there was like a 4. Is it the Fantastic Four? Educate me in the comments, please. But yeah, it doesn't say Disney World, but I love this one, and I know I went to Disney World that year, so that's okay. I don't even know what the purpose of the spinning element actually. It's just cool, but I don't think it's necessary. I think of all these pins, this one is like the most unnecessary element like to add. Like it's kind of weird, but basically you line it up to the Hanukkah candles, and then you're able to see it with the star outlines, and then for the Shmush candle in the middle you have the Mickey head. Oh, and the sides too actually are Mickey heads too. But yeah, Hanukkah 2010. Back to a more traditional spin pin. When you think of a spinning pin, this one goes uber fast because it's like the spinning element, unlike the castle, is like on the edges rather than having a pin behind the spinning element. So that's why it's easier to spin. But yeah, this one is so unique. I'm pretty sure it's Hong Kong or Shanghai. Let me see if I could read the -2 size font. Yes, it is Shanghai. It always hurts my eyes because like you really have to strain them. But it is a Shanghai pin. I remember getting it directly from someone that like did a pickup when this came out. They picked great characters, great character selection, and it's such a cute idea for a pin. It's so simple, yet it represents so many movies, and you have the Luxo ball in the middle. I love it. Recess fantasy pin. It's the only huge pin that moves, but it's so impressive when like a big fantasy pin is able to move. So this one, the dodgeball in the middle, spins. Based on the back stamp here, this is how you display it with TJ front and center here, but you could like choose any character. If you have a favorite character, you can make them the bottom, like up front part of the pin, right? Lastly, for the spinning pins, you barely could call this a spinner pin because the spinner is so tiny, but technically it does spin in a circle like the other ones do. I didn't even realize, it didn't take me getting this pin to realize it's a spinner. It took me months, if not over a year later, to realize this moves because it's so small. It's just so cute. I love it. You're out of this world, Valentine. And my last category, but certainly not least, I guess you can, like, they are still spinners, but like they're spinners in a different way. Like instead of going this way, it's going this way. It's almost like it flips instead of spins. But I have this High School Musical 3 pin, and it says EHS, like the same type of logo a lot of the other ones did, but then you have Troy and Gabriella. At least they're all different screen printed photos. This is the perfect use of a pin like this, like a flipper type pin. So you have Kim Possible says Crime Stopper by night. I should have started with the other side first, oh well. And it says Cheerleader by day. Yeah, and like the part that never spins, it says Kim Possible on the frame. She also has different poses. It's not just the same stock like image of Kim Possible, but different text. So I really love this pin. It is one of my favorite Kim Possible pins for sure. And then a quick rundown of the rest of the Hanukkah pins, because Disney decided that is the main type of pin they want to do for Hanukkah. So this one, again, a super tiny one, but it spins this way. So it is a different one than the Wally one. The whole thing is a dreidel, and the middle, you could have it say Happy Hanukkah, or you can have Mickey's head there. I always display it saying Happy Hanukkah. So we have the dreidel here that flips. Of the nephews. This is a really big dreidel that flips. I really like this one. Again, it moves really fast. And then we have 2016. So they went for 2 years in a row. This one's very unique because the flipper spinner, if you will, is like not, I mean, of course it's attached to the pin, but like this part isn't attached to anything. So I find that really cool. Oh no, 3 years in a row they went with the same style, but in a different way. This is another really big one. This is actually my first Hanukkah pin I ever got. And it's what inspired me to get all of the dated ones, because this one is dated. And so I display it on this side. I almost forgot what the other side looked like. So I'm glad I got to pull them out and kind of look at the other ways you could display things. It's interesting. And then they waited a whopping 4 more years to do that type of element again. Very similar to the 2015 one, but just smaller. This one, they actually messed up with the Hebrew writing on one of the sides. So they recalled it really fast. It was actually hard to get. And they have not done a moving element on a Hanukkah pin since 2021. So this pin I saved for last because it actually doesn't have just one moving element, but 2. So first you see it's a hinge pin. It's the Hannah Montana the movie pin, but inside it's a DVD of the movie. And not only is it so cool because you see, like, again, they use both sides. I love when they're able to use like that just silver side. And so it says the Disney DVD logo, Disney Channel, so nostalgic. And then it's a spinner as well, the actual DVD. So that's awesome. So it says DVD release 2009. This is one of the most unique official Disney pins I own.
Here's an overview of my moving pins, aka my coolest pins ever. I have other pins that are more artistic and more creative, but these are just so intricate and really cool. Like, it literally brings the art to life because you can move them, right? The art of pin making never ceases to amaze me.
So that's it for all my moving Disney pins. I hope you enjoyed. And if you haven't already, please subscribe for more pin related content from me, and to see my iconic pin wall in the 2025 iteration of my pin tour. I revamped the entire thing, so it should be interesting. I love looking at it, and I cannot wait to give you the privilege to look at it with me. And I would love to know in the comments what your favorite pin I showed was, and if you have any moving pins in your collection. And as always, take care of yourselves and have a magical day. Bye!